There are over 550,000 homeless on the streets of America's cities. 36,000 of those are youths. 38,000 are veterans, and 180,000 are families. And if white privilege exists, why is it that white Americans are the largest racial group of homelessness, making up 49% of those on the streets? However, things are tough all over, as Black Americans and Native Americans numbers are high compared to their numbers in the general population, and the homeless population is gradually increasing.
This is the worst I've ever seen it. There are hundreds and hundreds of gang members and their associates hiding amongst the homeless.
The LAPD says this video shows known gang members brutally beating a man.
Add to this national crisis the stark reality that mental illness is rampant amongst the homeless. Because roughly 60 years ago, the medical community and the federal government saw to it that long-term state mental institutions were closed in favor of community centers and a growing pharmaceutical industry stranglehold. There are now 14 slots per 100,000 people available for mental health treatment, and private mental health facilities, which don't accept insurance, can cost upwards of $30,000 per month. The mental health crisis has spilled out into our streets, as a study published in the journal Psychiatric Services estimates 3.4% of Americans, 8 million Americans, suffer from serious psychological problems. For example,
Aditi Saha says a homeless man threatened her with a knife back in July. Saha says her incident took place just about 500 feet away from where this incident happened early Sunday morning. Surveillance cameras were rolling when a woman was attacked by a homeless man out front of her luxury high-rise. 25-year-old Austin Vincent was arrested and now released by the court pending trial. She tweeted Governor Gavin Newsom Wednesday night, attached a video of her attack for him to see, then asked the governor to save San Francisco.
I don't feel safe. I know that we're all at risk, especially when this thing opens up. I mean, think about it, 250 new people, new homeless people that God knows who they are, what they struggle with, whether it's drugs or mental illness. And all the city is providing is a shelter. No treatment, no security, no proper planning, just a shelter.
President Trump has brought awareness to what many have ignored for too long.
I was talking about mental institutions. They closed so many, like 92% of the mental institutions around this country over the years for budgetary reasons. These are people that have to be in institutions for help. I'm not talking about as a form of a prison. I'm saying for help. And I think it's something we have to really look at, the whole concept of mental institutions. I remember growing up, we had mental institutions. Then they were closed in New York, I'm talking about. Many of them were closed. A lot of them were closed. And all of those people were put out on the streets. And I said, even as a young guy, I said, how does that work? That's not a good thing.
But liberals are only happy to cheerlead the despair if it means they will increase their own power. In the words of Thomas Jefferson, if the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all of their property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. John Bound reporting.